got me like.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is very special. It is a tutorial on this look right here, and it was a requested video. In this video I will talk about how to properly curl your lashes and of course do your liner, which is a big step for me because I have never applied liner on camera, like actual liner, and it was so difficult, so forgive me if it's not perfect, but thank you so much to my friend and subscriber who requested this video because it did make me get out of my comfort zone a little bit and do something that I wasn't necessarily used to doing, and I'm really glad that I got to experience doing this because the only way you learn is to practice. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy this video and I'll see you next time.
First, starting off, I'm going to use this Naked Concealer to prime my eyelids and buff that in with my foundation brush. I did my foundation before filming so that way I could cut the video time in half. I showed you guys the tape trick in my last tutorial, but I am going to show you again. I am just using clear transparent tape and I'm putting it on the back of my hand and ripping it off to make it a bit less sticky. Then I'm going to line it up underneath my lash line and go straight back. Take your time with this and make sure that you get it perfect because if you mess this up, everything else is ruined. And of course, press it in. Today I decided to play with the Coastal Scents Revealed palette, and I'm just going to go in with these two shades right here. They do not have names, and a blending brush, and I'm just going to buff it into my crease. The brush that I'm using for this is the Morphe E30, and I'm just going back and forth and really packing that on there so that way the other shadows have a good transition. Next, I am taking this shade. It is kind of like a brown, green, bronze. I don't even know what to call it. But I'm taking that shade onto an E17 Morphe brush, and I am just going to focus that on the outer third of my eye. I am really packing this color on to darken up the outer corners, and then I am going to bring it into the crease so that way everything blends together nicely. And then you already know we're going to go back in with our original Morphe E30 brush and we are going to blend that out. We want this to be seamless. Next, I will be going into this deep reddish brown shimmer shade on the Morphe M505 brush, and I'm just going to put that all over my lid and a little bit into my inner corners as well. I want this color to stand out. And then of course, going back in with the E17 that we just used the last color on, I am just going to darken out those edges and make sure that everything is blended nicely. And then you already know, back in with the E30 original brush that we used to blend all of those colors together. I was looking a little cray-cray and I wanted to darken it up a bit, so I'm using the M431 brush from Morphe and just the black shadow that was in that palette, and I'm just darkening up those outer edges. I'm just going back and forth to make it extra dark. And then back in with the E17 brush just to make sure that all of those colors are nice and blended. I really wanted those colors to flow well together. So now I am back in with the original brush again, just blending those things out. I swear if blending was a sport, it would be my thing for sure. Now I am going in with this pinky peach shade. It is like a very light peach, very light though. And I'm just going to put that on the inner corners using the G20 brush from Morphe. Be sure to really pack that highlight on. Now I'm going to be going back in with the two shades that we used on the outer areas of our eyelids just to make sure that everything is polished, blended, and looks good. You can skip this step if you want, but I really felt it was important for me to include it just because some of these shadows were a little bit patchy and I just wanted them to be opaque. Now for the fun part, I'm going to be using the Morphe E11 brush and Maybelline gel liner in Blackist Black to do this liner. This is about the amount of liner that you are going to want on your brush to do this, and pull your eye a little bit taut, just a little bit, and you just want to dab. Remember, you have that tape on, so you are saved in an emergency. You do not have to be perfect towards the outer edges, but be very careful towards the inner corner and make sure that you just do little tiny dash strokes. You really want to push that liner into your lash line, and it's okay to double dip if you need a little bit more product. I usually have to do the inner corner of my eye. You really want to make a dash and then pull it back so that each little dash is well blended in there. I know it might be a little bit confusing, but I think I'm demonstrating pretty well. Now for the wing, you are just gonna, first of all, make sure that your tape is down nice and steadily, and then you're just gonna pull your brush down into your lash line area, and you really wanna make sure that these are blended, so take your time. One side done, and now time to do the next side. I'm just gonna get some more product on my brush here, and I am gonna get started doing exactly what I did on the first eye. This side was honestly harder to get in the camera angle, so I did mess up, but if you mess up, it is okay. Don't even worry about it. You will fix it in the end. So just leave your mess up alone and continue doing what you did to the other eye. Basically, imagine that it's not there. Although sometimes it is hard to tell with the tape, most likely both of your wings will not look exactly the same. So you're going to have to go back with that brush and just a teeny bit of additional product and go back and forth just to perfect them and make sure that, you know, they look just about the same. Take your time on this, and remember, if you really mess up that badly, it is just makeup. It washes off at the end of the day, and there's really nothing to worry about. At last, we're gonna fix that nasty little mess up. So I'm using a makeup wipe. This is just like a regular coconut oil makeup wipe, and I am just wiping that area. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna correct my line once again. This time, I am being just a little bit more careful. You would think we're done, but we're not. I'm gonna go back and touch up that eyeshadow on that eye and just make sure that it's perfect. And then I'm gonna go back again and redo my lines. So yeah, there are a couple annoying steps to this. But if I didn't mess up, this would have gone a lot quicker. Oh well. Since this was my first time recording winged liner, it was a little bit more difficult, but I wanted to show you guys exactly what I do in situations like this and how sometimes it can be trial and error, and you know what? That's totally okay. Next, I'm just going to be going back in with another makeup wipe, and I'm just going to clean up my corners and underneath my eyes for any fallout, and then of course ripping off that tape and seeing those clean lines. Usually after I take the tape off, I do go back over once again with liner just to make sure that that wing is really opaque and dark, because sometimes the tape can interfere with the opaqueness. Time to curl those lashes, so I'm just going to be using these e.l.f. lash curlers. They were about $3, and the way that I curl my lashes is in one swift motion. So I go from the base to the middle to the ends, and then that's it. Do not press too hard because your lashes can fall out. Time to finish off my face, so I'm just using my Naked Weightless Skin Concealer, and I'm just highlighting. Be very careful around your wing because it is possible to kind of knock out your wing, so be very, very precise with that winged liner. And you guys pretty much have already seen this a couple times. Fire on my forehead, down the nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. And then I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and buff that out. Being very, very, very precise around that winged liner. I do not want to mess it up again. We are just going to speed right through all this boring stuff that we've seen before. Next, I'm going to use my Kat Von D Shade Plus Light palette, these two highlight shades here, to set my under eyes and everywhere that I put that concealer. It is very important that we do this so that way we don't get any creasing in those under eyes. Going straight in with my Mally Volumizing Mascara, I am going to put some mascara on my lashes. And after you curl your lashes, whenever you put on mascara, you really want to make sure that you get every little hair, because the curl makes it so that it's a little bit more difficult to put mascara on your lashes. So, you know, I'm just taking my time making sure that I get every little teensy bitsy lash. Next, going in with my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer and this Morphe M495 fan brush. I am just gonna really bronze up my skin, and this has become my favorite thing to do since I got this fan brush. Like, bronzing my skin is just, it's incredible. It just makes me feel really good inside, okay? Don't judge me. Really though, this fan brush makes my bronzer just look feathery and makes me look sun-kissed. I don't know, it makes application a breeze, so I absolutely love it. And then I'm just going to take my foundation brush and make sure that we are seamless and we don't have any ungodly, you know, bronzer lines. Next up, using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone, and this brush, what is this brush? Do I have it here? Yes, I do. I am using the M509 brush to do this. I'm just going to highlight the high points of my face, and you know me, I can never have enough, so I am really packing it on. I absolutely love highlight. I love to look like I'm glowing. And next up, I'm going to be using this Essence Silky Touch Blush in Autumn Peach, and I'm just gonna blush up my cheeks a little bit. I absolutely love this blush. It has quickly become a favorite for me. And then I'm of course going to blend that all in so that way I don't look like a clown. Now for the lower lash line, I am going to be using the itty bitty M508 brush from Morphe and the same shades that we used on our lids. And I'm just going to blow that out, and I'm actually going to pull it underneath the wing so that everything flows really nicely. I am truly taking my time and making sure that I get that as close to the lash line as I can. I don't want to look like a raccoon, but I still want to have a smoky lower lash line. Of course, my camera stopped recording, so I applied liner, but I'm reapplying it for you guys. I'm just using a black NYX Tres Jolie liner, and I am going to be tightlining and doing my waterline. And now I'm going to be taking that peach shade once again, and I'm just going to be using my fingertip for this to make sure that it's very pigmented. I'm just going to press it into my inner corners to highlight that area. And I wasn't planning to, but you already know, girl, I put on some falsies, false eyelashes. If you guys want a video on that, let me know. I absolutely love false lashes. Now, whenever you do put on false lashes, even if you use a dark glue, you want to go back in with your liner and make sure that none of that glue is showing. You want to make sure that that band isn't showing, and you really just want to make everything nice and blended. Now I am blowing out my lower lash line shadows, and I added a teensy bit more, and I'm using the M505 brush to do this. Of course, putting a coat of mascara on my lower lashes to make sure that those are nice and blown out. Now onto lips, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Melted Lipstick in Melted Chihuahua, and I'm just going to put a coat or two of that on my lips. I absolutely love this color, and once we're done with that, that completes this look.
Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you are new to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye!
I won't waste that chance. Waste that chance. Waste that chance.